Hi, I'm Carla Spacer with glutenfreerecipebox.com. I was asked to show you today how to cook gluten-free. We'll be going over two recipes. One is a gluten-free oat bread made in a bread machine, and the other one is a soft, pliable tortilla. I'm sure you'll enjoy both. Follow me into the kitchen. So now we're going to make some homemade gluten-free tortillas. We're going to take a quarter cup of warm water, and you can have the warm water between 90 and 110 degrees, just nothing over 115. And we're going to put some yeast in there, 1 teaspoon of instant yeast, not active but instant, and 1.5 teaspoons of honey. You can use agave syrup if you want to have if you have diabetes or anything like that. We're going to stir that together and let it sit for about 5 minutes until it gets foamy on top. Now while the yeast is sitting, we're going to continue with our dry ingredients. You can either use white rice flour or brown rice flour. I used to like to use a combination of both. So you have 3/4 cup of rice flour, 6 tablespoons of starch, whether it be potato or corn. I use a combination of both. You want 1 teaspoon of guar gum or xanthan gum. I'm using xanthan gum today. And about 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I like to use sea salt. And just stir those together. You can use a whisk, a fork, whatever you want. And just stir those completely. And then we're going to add that to the foamed yeast along with some other wet ingredients in a few more minutes. So we have a little foam on the top of our yeast mixture. To that we're going to add 2 tablespoons of neutral flavored oil. I used extra virgin olive oil, light flavored. 1 egg, large, and 1/4 cup of buttermilk. If you're allergic to dairy or intolerant, you can use a mixture of 1.5 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar mixed with enough rice flour to make 1/4 cup, and let it sit for about 15 minutes till it gets thick. We're going to whisk this together. And then to that we're going to add our dry ingredients. And stir that until it combines. Now we're going to set this mixture aside for 20 minutes. So it's been 20 minutes. We're going to take a sheet of plastic wrap and put it on a flat surface for rolling out. Actually, we're not going to roll it, we're going to pat out some of the dough. So you want to take about 1/4 cup for a small or medium size tortilla. You can use a 1/3 cup for a larger one, for like about 9 inches. This one makes about a 7-inch. Then on top of that we're going to sprinkle on some potato starch or cornstarch. I think potato starch is easier to work with myself. As soon as I feel one piece stick, I add some starch to it. And you're patting it out and you're pushing out. Try to keep it in a circular shape. So just preheat a cast iron skillet, preferably, over medium-high heat. This is a tortilla that I used a little saucer and traced around. I want to give you an idea of how it would look more perfectly shaped. Though my saucer wasn't exactly round, it was close enough. This is a good lunch size too. Now, in between the cooking of the first and the second one, what I did was turn the skillet off, or the burner off, and this way it gives it a chance to cool down a little bit. And when you put the plastic wrap and it gets onto the skillet, you don't have to worry about it melting, because that's really important to use that plastic wrap. You can either cook it on one side till it gets brown, or you can keep on flipping it over. So that's about it. And see how flimsy. If you'd like, you can even butter one side, and it keeps it nice and soft.